So we are on our fourth movement of Bruno Barnhart's cross mandala, and it is dance this week. Before we go any further, before we go into Bruno's thoughts and his understanding of this fourth movement, I thought we might just start again with the body prayer that we've been using over this time of pilgrimage, which is the body prayer I call of descent, starting with our hands on our head. And just to remember that this place of activity is a busy place. It is a very full place of thought, of sight, of smell, of taste, of hearing. And as we just are aware of everything going on in our thoughts and our thinking, just move one hand slowly to one's chest and be aware of the descent and the difference and the movement. And then slowly allow your other hand to join with the one hand on your chest and feel what's there. Be aware, notice the difference, space. And then slowly move one hand down to your upper abdomen, place of your stomach. To feel the connection between the two places. Feel the difference. And then move both hands together on your stomach. And notice that place of your body. And then gently move one of your hands to your lower abdomen, place I call the deep belly, a place of creativity, of intuition. And feel the connection between those two parts of your body. And then finally, the last movement of descent, to join your hands together over your lower belly, your deep belly, that low place of being, resting in that area of the sacrum, the sacred bone, the sacred sacrum, where the spine sits, where your body sits, that place of deep being. And just rest there for a moment or two. And when you're ready, just quietly come back to be present to your screen, to me. And if you haven't already done so, I'd be grateful if you could mute yourself. So I'm going to read to you, as I have done before, my presentation of Bruno's 4 movements. This is the 4th, and share it with you now. Bruno's 4th movement is earth, matter, material cosmos, the creation, the world of the body. 4 is humanity participating in the one cosmos, the one planet Earth, through our bodily existence, through family, friends, work, play, political and economic life, through art. 4 is the number of fullness and integration, completing the mandala as the whole. It is the final union of God and all creation. Bruno's mandala begins with the silence of one, the spiritual ground of the ultimate ground of being, but moves towards and converges with the physical ground of our existence. 4 brings the mandala to completion with body, cosmos, and matter. For Bruno, matter represented fullness. In the great chain of being, matter, as the outermost limit of creation, is apparently farthest from God. Yet matter emanates from the divine spirit. Matter flows from its spiritual source and proceeds through the whole of the created order to its furthermost point, to its end place in 4. As the final point in creation, in its inclusion and its completion, this 4th movement suggests matter as fullness. Four as cosmos and the human person completes the quaternity. The Trinitarian image of the Christian tradition, the 3 in 1, opens to gather into itself the 4th, which we are. Jesus, the Word, invites us in our physicality into communion with the 3. Wholeness now is 1 and 4. Bruno believed that all things in creation, the universe with ourselves at the center, resonate with the Word, the incarnate Jesus. He wrote that the Christianity that embraces the wisdom within creation, that embraces nature, cosmos, body, and matter, is a truly incarnate Christianity. Ultimately, Bruno declared, wisdom is incarnation. Despite the importance to Bruno of this incarnational wisdom, knowing how it may increase our understanding of our own essential bodiliness, he knew too how it can also bring an encounter with our excluded shadowland within this world, with the poor, with the cross of human existence. Bruno presents Jesus to us as both the human person and the cross, who is stretched in the tension between divinity and earthly reality. Such reality can speak of the lowest, the lost, the final stranger and alien that must be brought into the divine banquet. The dark side, the shadow, so often hidden, belongs to 4, the back and bottom of our world. It is the opposite and dark mirror of 1. Yet, paradoxically, matter, as it holds the dark weight of the earth, in its mystery, is the outermost tent of the divine spirit. The 4th, which we so intimately are, can be the most difficult to know, to accept, and to integrate. Bruno wrote, creatures of earth. We come from the earth and return to the earth. Earth is not only soil or planet, but the common ground of humanity. Bruno believed that the Western civilization he saw as marked by individualism and fragmentation, as it has progressed, has become distanced from the shared ground of humanity. He refers to Ewan Cousin's work, exploring the consciousness of primal tribal people. Tribal culture was rooted in the earth and natural life cycles, with each member identifying collectively as one within their tribe. Cousins saw the need to recapture something of this in an evolution towards a global consciousness by seeing humanity as a single tribe, organically related to the total cosmos. Bruno believed the integration of four as cosmos was a step forward towards this evolution of consciousness. He saw how it related to the essential aspects of the human person and of cosmic reality. Going further, Bruno believed this evolution to be ultimately about the transformation of the body, even going beyond this present life. Four is fullness. And Bruno points us to Saint Francis of Assisi, who he sees as embodying a return to the fullness and simplicity of the Gospels. Bruno wrote, "We see in him, in Francis, an arrival, a completeness that is a fresh appearing of the fullness of the beginning." But he also saw in Francis a return to the ground, to cosmos, through his mysticism of the humanity of Christ and a completely Christ-centered nature mysticism. In this way, Bruno saw in Francis a completeness and an integration with four. Bruno writes that we are ever beginning to learn about the gospel of incarnation. He comments that the Bible does not present a spirituality of transcending the body, but rather a spirituality of the presence of God in the thick of human life and activity. He sees four as the body itself, the body considered not only in terms of spiritual life, but of all aspects of human life. He saw the whole of the created reality, reaching towards its completion in the body of the crucified and risen Christ. The body of Christ, which is developing, growing towards its fullness in the course of history. The bodiliness of the Christ event. The physicality of divine revelation through birth, bodily passion, death, and resurrection in a single comprehensive movement is continuing through Eucharist as the life of the body of Christ. Teilhard de Chardin had a profound influence on Bruno. Bruno quotes Teilhard, who speaks of his soul struggle with the God above, as he was taught, that could only be attained by leaving behind all earthly realities. It was through the irresistible meeting in his heart of what he called the Christ density with the cosmic density that brought Teilhard to his vocation, which was, in his words, to Christify matter. For Teilhard, spirit realized itself through an incarnation by immersing itself in matter. For him, everything in the universe was now divine. Everything that nourished his soul for the life of spirit and grace, every presence, touch, and necessity was Christ. Becoming so through the Eucharistic action of those simple words first spoken by Christ. This is my body. The body of Christ in the universe. The body of Christ in the stream of universal becoming. Bruno believed that the world, in its becoming, is Eucharist, because the body of Christ is the total human and cosmic unity. He wrote, "If our time is to be a dawning global consciousness, it must also be the age of a new and larger Eucharistic sense within Christianity and a global realization of the body of Christ." His words have echoes of Teilhard de Chardin's vision of a cosmic Eucharist, with matter as the medium of union. The Eucharistic body will gradually expand to the full dimensions of humanity and cosmos. Bruno wrote of the Eucharistic Christ energy as a leaven within humanity, and believed it is Sophia, Spirit, as the immanent, unitive, divine feminine, who is drawing us and expanding us towards Christ and cosmic unity. As the divine agent of energy, she generates a Christianity of the ground, a Christianity that is dynamic and creative. Her movement is in the reintegration of word with nature, of Christianity with the common ground of humanity, earth, and cosmos. Bruno writes, as spirit of love, Sophia is revelation outside revelation, wisdom outside wisdom, Christ outside Christianity, the presence of God outside and beyond every representation of God and every boundary line. It is the energy of Sophia wisdom that moves in and through everything. She is the movement of the whole, driving forward the whole course of human development. She can be seen as the golden thread, the divine wisdom working in the world. Bruno writes, if Jesus is person as word and as light, Sophia is person as love. This is the ultimate unitive realization of person. Dwelling in human individuals, she bears them towards realization as persons in relation within the great energy field or divine koinonia, that is divine communion. He concludes, if Sophia bears the world into its realization in God, she also dances. She dances in all of creation, anticipating the time when the creation itself will be delivered into its freedom. Her dance is in the living beauty all around us, in which we find the already of present fullness, of divine presence. Her dance is in the living beauty all around us, in which we find the already of present fullness, of divine presence. So I'm going to share a few slides with you now with some words from that reading we're going to, as I read them, I'll read them and then we'll pause for a few minutes. And then we'll have a moment of stillness at the end. So Bruno Barnhart's fourth movement of his quaternary cross mandala dance. For the life of spirit and grace, every presence, touch, and necessity was Christ, becoming so through the Eucharistic action of those simple words first spoken by Christ. This is my body. Next slide, please. It is Spirit, Sophia, as the immanent, unitive, divine feminine, who is drawing us and expanding us towards Christ and cosmic unity. She is the movement of the whole, driving forward the whole course of human development. Next slide, please. If Jesus is person, as word and as light, Sophia is person as love, dwelling in human individuals. Sophia bears the world into its realization in God. She dances in all of creation, anticipating the time when the creation itself will be delivered into its freedom. Next slide, please. So we conclude this short presentation of Bruno's words, of our time of reflection together, with this image that is painted by Carl Jung from his red book, which he's entitled Cosmos. I find it an interesting image, and it has the cross mandala at its center. So thank you. If we'd like to conclude this, stop sharing the screen. Thank you. In a moment, we're going to have a short video. But before it comes, I would like to just explain it a little bit. Movement and dance. I felt had to have something moving on the screen. And what came to mind was a murmuration of starlings. It is one of nature's mysteries, wonders, an amazing sight. I'm a great bird lover. I'm aware that not everybody enjoys birds like me. It's a short video. It's on YouTube and it will be played quite soon. But a murmuration, so called because of the sound of the wings as they move together, and they swirl and they twist and they swoop. And it's something that they do as they come into roost, and usually in late winter or during the winter months. And for me, it reflected dance. It is actually entitled The Dance of the Starlings. So when we're ready, can we have Thank you. So I'm going to invite you now to have a time of stillness and reflection with me as we recall times that we might have noticed Sophia dancing in creation, and how we might notice her dance in the future, how we might take time to be still in the dance that is all around us. So time to recall Sophia dancing. We'll have about 5 minutes for this. Her dance is in the living beauty all around us, in which we find the already of present fullness, of divine presence.